or interfaces to patterns in Platonic space, and we align to these patterns by coupling with the invariant via strong perception or as strong perception. Part of why I think this might be the general mechanism is that it's very efficient, because what these invariants are, such as prices, are bow ties which are able to maintain their invariant structure across a huge array of inputs and outputs, or patterns on the organism side and patterns on the environment side. So price, for example, the price of coffee, it takes in a huge amount of facts about the world, about things going on, weather, agriculture, people's shopping patterns, all kinds of things going on, and feeds that out into all kinds of things you can do with coffee. Do you want a hot brew in the morning, a cold brew in the afternoon? You can do all kinds, whatever you want to do with coffee. You can make a tiramisu, whatever. So the price, even though there's all these different things going on the input and output side, the invariant relationship price has with the conditions of supply and demand remains. So it's this very efficient way of coupling to these patterns, because it's just so reliable across a huge range of circumstances. And it's not just prices that work this way, but there's bow ties anywhere. Traffic lights, a conductor's baton, the marginal value of a shot in like basketball or something like that is going to organize the game around. Each of these are a tiny knot that coordinates a huge varied world. So something I'm thinking about is that there's a spectrum of invariance by depth of coordination. Instead of thinking of mathematical and physical and social patterns and so on as being different kinds of things, we can think of them as being one spectrum where just the sort of reliability of the invariant varies. So mathematical patterns mostly seem to be atemporal, hold everywhere in all universes as far as we know. It's like very reliable invariance. Physical invariance, maybe not quite as, truly universal, but at least in our universe, and at least as far as we're going to explore that universe, they're going to be there, all the way to something like the state of a chessboard or the marginal value of a shot in a basketball game, which really just holds for that game and that set of rules. So to summarize, basically what I'm thinking is that there's one mechanism at every kind of level of the spectrum, where step one, you align to some pattern by coupling to some invariant. You don't need to even know about the pattern. You just maintain some relationship with your environment. Coupling with the invariant induces ingression, that's a typo, where the organism behaves as if anticipating patterns from distant realms, such as how we're all behaving as if we're anticipating weather events around the world through the price system. And then all you need to do is reorganize by just maintaining your coupling to the invariant as those patterns change. It's like as new events change, the price change, you maintain your coupling to the price system by just holding on to, respecting your own budget constraint, and that maintains that alignment to the pattern. So one kind of insight that comes out of this is that we can see how these patterns in turn exploit us. So we construct prices by, just by coordinating with each other, and that gives rise to prices in coffee and other areas. But what those prices do is they compete for a finite reservoir, which is our total budget, the total amount of money people have to spend on things. Because basically, if one price goes up, then another price has to go down, because otherwise there's not enough money to support the total price system. And what that does is this turns each individual price into a network. So the price system emerges because they're all pulling on this common reservoir of people's budgets. And so the individual prices actually end up exploiting us to network and scale up into a total price system. So that's what I have here, which is basically this is a potential mechanism for ingression, a lot of invariants all on this spectrum, math, physics, economics, etc., all working according to this kind of pattern. So I know that was a lot, but I want to stop there and just kind of get people's takes on what they think about that.